Hey, Class 10, welcome back. Today, we're jumping into a topic that is, quite literally, the lifeblood of our nation, the lifelines of the economy. We're going to be exploring the massive transport networks, focusing on roads and railways today, that keep India moving, trading, and growing. So, let's get you exam ready.
All right, let's kick things off with a huge question. How in the world do you connect a country with over 1.4 billion people? A nation that has everything from sprawling cities to super remote villages, towering mountains, and vast deserts. I mean, that's a massive challenge, right? The answer lies in a super complex system of transport networks. Let's dive into the most fundamental one of all.
So, first up, we've got the most basic, most essential network there is, roads. You've got to think of roads as the foundational grid. They're the ones that provide that critical last-mile connectivity, reaching almost every single corner of the country and feeding into every other mode of transport. Now, this is a big one for your exams, so listen up. It's the difference between metalled and unmetalled roads. The word metalled is a bit tricky because it doesn't mean the road is actually made of metal. Nope. It just means it's built to last, using stuff like concrete or bitumen, making it an all-weather road. Unmetalled roads, well, they can pretty much become useless during the rainy season. So, the key takeaway here? Metalled equals reliable, all year-round connection. Got it?
Okay, check out this number on your screen. 9.02 kilometers. What on earth could that be? I'll give you a little hint. It's a modern marvel of Indian engineering that has totally transformed connectivity in a really challenging part of the country. Any ideas?
If you guessed the Atal Tunnel, you are absolutely right. That 9.02 kilometers is the length of the world's longest highway tunnel at such a high altitude. It's just an incredible feat of engineering, and it proves how modern tech can overcome geographical barriers that have been around for centuries.
And here's why that's such a big deal. The Atal Tunnel connects Manali to the Lahaul-Spiti Valley. Now, this is a place that used to be completely cut off from the rest of the country for 6 months every year because of snow. Imagine that. Built by the Border Roads Organization at over 3,000 meters high in the Himalayas, it is a total game changer. Okay, so from the roads that pave the way, let's move on to the next great lifeline of our nation.
All right, shifting gears from roads, we're now turning to the nation's main artery, the Indian railways. You know, this is so much more than just a way to get people and stuff from point A to point B. For over 150 years, the railways have been this incredible force for national integration, connecting all our diverse cultures and economies in a way that's truly one of a kind.
I mean, think about all the things the railways do. It's the #1 way to move heavy goods and travel long distances. It makes business, tourism, and pilgrimages possible on a massive scale. And by doing all of this, it literally binds the economic life of the country together, creating one single national market, which, in turn, speeds up both industrial and agricultural growth. It's huge.
Just look at this journey for a second. It all started with one single train in 1853, from Bombay to Thane, covering just 34 kilometers. And from that tiny beginning, over 150 years of growth has turned it into the largest public sector undertaking in the entire country. The scale of that is just mind-blowing.
So, how do you manage something this massive? Well, the Indian Railways is organized into different administrative zones. And how many are there? 17. This number, 17, just gives you a sense of the enormous organizational structure needed to keep the nation's arteries flowing. But here's the thing. Laying down tracks isn't as simple as just drawing lines on a map. And this brings us to a super important concept for your exams. Understanding how India's physical geography creates these massive challenges and pretty much decides where and how these transport networks can even be built.
This quote from your textbook really hits the nail on the head. The pattern of the railway network? It's not random at all. It's shaped directly by what it calls physiographic factors, which is just a fancy way of saying the physical geography, the land itself. Let's break down exactly what that means.
Okay, let's really get into this. Check out the table. In the northern plains, the land is flat, so it seems easy, right? But the huge challenge is building these massive bridges over wide rivers. Now compare that to the Himalayas. High mountains, not many people, not a lot of economic activity, it's just really unfavorable. You see the same kinds of problems in the sandy deserts of Rajasthan or the swampy areas of Gujarat. Even in the Western Ghats, you can only lay tracks through very specific gaps or passes. See, at the end of the day, geography is the ultimate boss.
Yeah, okay. That was a ton of information. So let's lock in the most important stuff with a quick exam-ready recap.
These are the 3 points you absolutely positively need to remember.
First up, road classification. Remember, metalled means all weather. That's the key. Second, the role of the railways. They're not just for transport. They are the great integrator of the nation's economy and culture. And third, and this is probably the biggest one, geography is king. Always remember that the physical landscape is the #1 thing that shapes India's entire transport network.
And that leaves us with a really cool question to think about. We've seen how technology, like the Udal Tunnel, can conquer geography that we once thought was impossible to deal with. So, looking forward, what do you think the future of India's lifelines is going to look like? What new connections will be forged next?
I really hope this explainer helps you get totally exam ready. And hey, if you want to take your preparation to the absolute next level, A1 Institute is here for you. For admissions, detailed notes, and expert guidance, make sure you contact us. Our phone number is right there in the description. And finally, if this was helpful, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, share it with your friends, and let us know what you think in the comments below. And definitely don't forget to subscribe to the A1 Institute YouTube channel for more explainers just like this one, all designed to help you become a topper. Thanks for watching.